All right, Cancer. Welcome to your 2017 Astro-Tarot forecast. My name is Charlotte from chastrology.com. And I'll just be honest with you from the get-go here. I have recorded this video several times. I've used a different tarot deck. All of the messages that you have coming in are very challenging. There's a lot of difficulty, a lot of starts and stops going on through the year. And even as I recorded your video for a second time, I began to have technical difficulty. So I changed the decks. I was reading with Doreen Virtue's deck for all the other 2017 forecasts. And I changed your deck to, I believe this is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is a more of a direct approach. It kind of cuts through the fluff and through the philosophical viewpoint. And it delivers immediate answers. So I use this deck a lot if I have a problem that I really need to get to the bottom of it, and I don't have time to sit around and try to think about everybody's viewpoint, and I just need to get to the crux of the difficulty in the action. So I'm going to use this deck for you. But before we get started on the card reading portion, I'm going to talk about the year of 2017, and I'm going to let it develop as a storyboard. So I'm going to start at the beginning. When the year first started out, you were trying to make a decision with your parents or partners. These are your long-term relationships, your marriages, your business partners. Again, parents fall here because usually if the energy is not going towards your spouse or a partner by contract, it does fall on our longest-term relationships with our parents, who are often mirrored through our partnerships if we are really honest. Now this energy became very difficult because a grand cross formed in the sky in January. So a lot of you may have felt just like you were stuck within a relationship, like you were trying to make your mind up about something in a relationship. Some of you may have been considering divorce. Some of you were considering marriage. First of all, there was a new moon, January the 27th. On January 27th, a new moon really kicked off the energy for the year. And this took place in your 8th house. So you were really, trying to make decisions or new decisions related to finances, related to debt, related to divorce, related to endings. And this new moon energy ran into the February 10th, 11th lunar eclipse in Leo, which highlighted your financial sector, your income sector. So it may have been through there that you were trying to find the financial resources pertaining to these decisions that you were making within a relationship, or you may have had some money going out towards debt during that time. Some of you were definitely contemplating divorce during that time. You may have been experiencing grief or loss, but eclipses really help define markers of time for us. And if you can think back to any major event that you've had in your life, whether it's a marriage, a divorce, a death, they're all marked by eclipses. They usually happen, the new beginnings happen close to a solar eclipse, and the endings happen close to a lunar eclipse. So the month of February was really about trying to set boundaries for you and trying to really rediscover yourself within a relationship, or trying to come to terms with the ending of a relationship. On February the 26th, there was a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And this lights up a travel sector for you, a legal sector, an academic situation, a people at a distance situation that can be reached by internet or other forms of electronic communication. This could also be publishing, writing, higher learning, astrology even. And this is about a search for the answer. So this solar eclipse began a new beginning in your search for truth. And some of you may have filed for divorce during this time. Some of you may have decided to take a trip. Some of you may have become involved in an institution that has to do with government or legalities. In any regard, this opens up a 6-month window where you will be dealing with these subjects for some time. So this eclipse was conjunct Neptune, which is the planet of spirituality. It also brings illusions, deceptions. So some of you, if you are involved in a legal situation, you want to really be careful about the details. And I'm going to talk to you about some other planetary events as we go along. But I'm letting you know ahead of time that over the next 6 months, from February towards the summer, you're going to experience a lot of illusions with people at a distance, with legal situations, with academics. And so you're really going to need to keep an eye out for the details. Before we get too far ahead, Cancer, I want to go to the cards now and talk about what I see here from Spirit. Now, I have the cards split into sort of 2 sections. This is like my dividing line right here. This is going to be the first part of the year. This will be the second part of the year, and I'll add more cards as we go along. So during the first part of the year, I see you ready to get to the truth. You're rushing in, you're coming in, but things are up in the air. There's a lot of communication going on, but there are a lot of unknowns, a lot of dissatisfaction. You're wanting to plant new seeds. You're wanting to get ahead in life. You're wanting to move forward. You're ready to latch on to new situations, to really make progress, to be ambitious. You're ambitious for something new, and you're ambitious maybe to start a new job, some of you. Some of you are trying to plant seeds for retirement, it seems. And others of you are just steadily battling this sense of dissatisfaction and really not knowing what to do. I have the 8 of Swords here. And this talks about, feeling bound. Whether you are not, you're feeling trapped in some situation. And there's information that you just don't know. I'll have you take a look at this card. And this card there depicts a little blue bird up at the top of the sword. And it's always very interesting to me because it signifies a message. There's a messenger there that wants to help you. This could be in spirit form. This could be someone that you know. But there's definitely a message there for you. It's just that you're unwilling to listen. You're unwilling to see what is going on because you are mentally torn about a situation. We also have another 8 here, the 8 of Wands. And this is, a feeling of instability, but it's also about a lot of communication going on and sending communication out to other people. And you're trying to latch on to something grounded, but right now, there are just too many things up in the air. This is not a bad card. This is just showing that you are making an effort to really sow new seeds regarding your finances. You're trying to figure out maybe how to take one opportunity and turn it into more. There seems to be a sense of you wanting the perfect family life, the perfect happiness, but there are so many unknowns right now that you're really having to sort of run around in circles to try to build things up to a point where you feel that you are stable, not only emotionally, but financially. And we have a person here. This is the Queen of Wands. Could be an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And she may become important as we go along. So if you're involved, if you're a male and you're involved with someone with this sign, this person may be a deciding factor in your relationships. So I think the cards are right on with the astrological influences so far, and showing that you're trying to find a balance between financial security and emotional security. And you're needing to, really continue to make decisions about the offers that you're going to give later in the year in love. And you're still holding on to that happy family life picture where, you're experiencing the ultimate bliss. And this really is the ultimate bliss for Cancer. And this is the 10 of Cups. It depicts a happy family scene. But if you're not attached to a family, this could also be your vision of the perfect bliss, of what really and truly makes you happy, makes you feel complete, and makes you feel like you have accomplished something in some way. Some of you may be involved with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And this person is also looking for the truth. She's looking back at the past, or she may be associated with your past. This may have been a long-term relationship, or the person that you think of when you think back on a time that was very romantic or very exciting. And this person is also caught up in the situation. So if you're a male, this could be 2 female energies that you're trying to make a decision about. One very fiery and exciting and career driven. The other one very mentally accurate. She's very smart. She wants to get to the bottom of the matter. She doesn't want to mess around. She doesn't want to waste her time any longer. Or at least you are experiencing this influence in your relationships, where on one hand you want to be ambitious in moving forward in a relationship, and on the other you still feel caught up in maybe the swords that this person, this Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, is dealing out to you. You still feel that there's something that you don't know. Some of you are trying to decide on 2 relationships here. Now, if you are a female Cancer, this could be the difference in you really trying to decide if you want to go towards more of an educational pathway versus right on into launching your own career. This could definitely be some dissatisfaction here going on in your home life and trying to just solve some issues with boredom. Oh, Cancer, the energy is tough here. I have already stopped this video 2 or 3 times now, and here we are on the 3rd try in filming this video. So I don't know if it's me, but I'm really feeling like there is a lot of tension here. There's a lot of emotional struggle that's really not showing so much in the cards. It's more, I guess, in the discernment process, because it seems like your mind is divided in a million different ways. On one hand, you want this perfect, happy family life. On the other hand, you're a little bored or dissatisfied with your partner. On another hand, some of you are wanting to move. You're wanting to relocate. There are things going on in the home that are disruptive. There are people from your past that you're still looking back on, whether they're family members, they're mother figures, or children. And for a lot of you, these decisions could really involve your children. But in all of it, there is a need to get to the truth. And I am determined to make it through this reading. Let me tell you. So there is definitely, out of all of this, because I think we have a lot of different scenarios going on for Cancer, I think that's probably what's going on here, and it's making it very hard for me to nail down one particular theme in your storyboard. So as February goes on, I think you're still churning through all these emotions and all these options, and one minute you want to do one thing, the next minute you want to do another, then you're grieving about, why can't I just make up my mind, and I think this person's right for me, but look at this person, and should I just let go of one and cling on to another, and if I do that, am I going to regret it later? For some of you, this is about a relocation. Do I want to move here? If I move here, will I be able to get this job? Will I be able to plant this seed? Am I really going to be able to be around my family and have a good time? What am I going to do career-wise? I just don't know which direction to go. I'm overwhelmed with career activity. Some of you may be in school. You're just feeling a sense of almost like for some of you, it's almost like you know that all these decisions need to be made, and you just want to hide away. You just feel like you can't even deal with it right now. And so in February, that may be what's going on. But I think a lot of you are really trying to find your way through this energy. You're trying to lay out the path for the year, just having a hard time getting there. Okay? So as that new eclipse energy begins to kick off on February the 26th, there's sort of some noise in the background, and that comes in the form of Mars conjunct Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of your finances, and Mars is in your career sector. So for some of you, there could be some sort of financial ending within a career, or there's something about your career or your public life or your reputation that's coming to light over the next 6 months. But in any regard, there are brand new beginnings related to travel, legalities. For some of you, maybe you've decided that you don't want a divorce, and then all of a sudden you do, or all of a sudden your partner does. If they're an air sign, this may be them, and they may just decide to change their mind. They may be searching for truth. And if they feel like they haven't found it, they just decide to go ahead with this divorce process anyway. For some of you, this is about travel, and so you're really trying to plant seeds along your journeys, especially for your income. If you're trying to relocate, you're trying to really use a lot of your mental skills to acquire a new career field. And again, all of you are trying to attain this happy home life that's full of love and celebration. And I just want to tell you right now, before we go any further, I think you're going to get there. But there is a Venus retrograde that's going to take place in March. And this really, runs up against the eclipse energy. We're going to have several months of things really being up in the air in the first half of 2017. It all becomes very muddled. In March, this Venus retrograde is going to take place in Aries in your career and public standing sector. So for some of you, this is going to be really deciding what kind of career. You may all of a sudden change your mind in this area. You're going to really review and revise, what you want to do for a living, how you're going to make your money, who you want to be known as. Do you want to be known as a married person? Do you want to be known as a single person? Who are you in the world, and how do other people view you? So the Venus retrograde lasts from March the 4th to April the 15th, but I can tell you this energy is really going to last into June. The shadow will not end until May, and so this walks us right into June. And then we're going to hit more eclipses coming in August in your financial sector. So from February until June, you're going to be caught up in trying to redefine who you are in the world, what your location is, where you want to live, what career field you want to be in. You're going to be making plans to travel. Some of you are going to be making plans to either get married or divorce. And so all of this becomes this, sort of ball of energy that really needs to be reconsidered and thought about in detail, at least until June, before you make a decision. Now, if you're thinking about getting married or getting divorced, I would advise you, I would beg you not to do this until this energy passes. You want to wait at least until June, and I've been telling people even until July, until the Venus retrograde ends. Because what Venus retrogrades do is they really confuse us. Venus is not strong. Venus is the part of our consciousness that rules love, money, and our appearance. And so what you think that you may want in a relationship, what you think that you may want career-wise, the title that you want the world to see you as, those things are going to be skewed. You're going to imagine all these sorts of things because there's a lot of missing information that you just don't have. So you're going to start making these dreamy plans and think about how great everything's going to turn out. But there's something here that's missing. So from February until June, this influence is present. So I want to try to discern with the cards here. I'm going to ask the cards, what exactly is that energy about? And again, I see a lot of you, some of you are moving towards retirement. Some of you are trying to really get the formula right within your relationships. And some of you are dealing with so many conflicts where people are literally upset about the decisions that you're making. Nothing seems to go right. People aren't doing their jobs. There's a lot of arguments going on here. And some of this is about you rushing things, but needing to wait until the right time. The timing is just not right yet. And if you're looking back on an old relationship here, which is what is underneath these cards here, maybe if this is with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or if you have an Ascendant or Moon in that sign and you're looking back towards an old relationship, the timing is off here. It's not ready. It's not ready to happen yet in this first part of the year. And so I think you have to put that off to a later date. Definitely if you are involved in a divorce situation, you don't want to finalize your divorce in a Venus retrograde. You are going to lose out on all that you have worked for so far. And it doesn't matter how many times that you try to redo the legal stuff associated, the paperwork, or you try to offer different things to your partner. The divorce agreement just will not work out. Some of you are trying to really rekindle your marriage or your partnership. And so I see a lot of you taking a lot of painstaking effort to do so, to make sure that things go right. But the chemistry is off in some way. And some of you may be involved with this person who a lot of people are unhappy with. And this is a fire sign. Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, and this person seems to have brought a lot of disruption. This person seems to be like a catalyst, and she's starting up all of this energy that causes all of this anguish and needing to get to the truth and redefining yourself within a relationship, maybe so that you can move forward. Maybe some of you are leaving a relationship and you're trying to move forward with this person, and you're trying to make sure that your finances are stable. So just after the Venus retrograde, like I said, that influence really ends April the 15th, but it's going to hang around until June. There's a Mercury retrograde that runs into that. Like I said, there's a lot of confusing energy in this first part of the year. And this Mercury retrograde is going to highlight your friendship sector. These are people that you work with, friends that you've had for a while, groups that you know by association, people that you come into contact with on a daily basis. This also covers your hopes and dreams, and this is going to take place from April 9th to May the 3rd. So many of you are really experiencing a lot of shakeups maybe within your career field and the people that you work with, and trying to come to a better understanding of one another, or maybe trying to reach out to new people for a new career. Although I can tell you this would be the worst timing to do that. You would want to wait until after June to really start forward with that energy. Nevertheless, some of you are doing this, I know it, because Venus retrograde and Mercury retrogrades tend to make us rethink our options, which is a good thing in the end. But if you're watching this, just hold off as long as you can in these relationships and career things that we have going on, and try to wait until June when this energy has really cleared out. So now I'm going to talk about June forward. Now we have two eclipses coming in August, one in Aquarius and one in Leo, which is going to highlight the intimate boundaries within your relationship and also involve deep subjects like divorce, debt and death, joint resources, property, taxes, child support. So this seems to be a spending phase that you're going to go through this summer. And the reason that it's showing here in the eclipses is because there are endings that are associated with this. You're making new discoveries. You're having to maybe rediscover trust within a relationship. You're having to reconnect on an intimate level with someone because something has been lost. So June and July are months where you're really rethinking your relationships. I mean, the sun will be in Cancer. During that time, there are going to be a lot of small upsets with the planets there, just a lot of little things that go on, issues between you and a partner and your career, your financial security. And this is going to lead up into August when the eclipses take place in Aquarius and Leo, which are really going to define intimate boundaries and beginnings and endings with your relationships. So looking at the middle of the year here, there are definitely some endings. I just got the Death card. Three of Swords is here. This is heartbreak and loss in relationships. And the Lovers is also here. So I'm sorry to tell you, Cancer, some of your relationships are ending. I think you have to decide which one of those relationships will end. For some of you, you've been involved with more than one relationship. And so one of those relationships will definitely have to end so that one can begin. And I'll hold these cards up here for you so that you can see them better. So we have the Death card, the Three of Swords, and the Lovers. So the Lovers talks about two people who are willing to work things out, right? They are two people who have a lot of passion for one another. They are partners in every way. They're very similar people. They get along well. They have a lot of the same interests. And they're ready to walk down the road of life together. They're ready to go on a journey together. Now this Lovers card came up beside of the Queen of Wands. So again, if you're a male watching this and you have Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries in your chart, or you're involved with a person of this sign, this could be you willing to walk forward in this celebration with this other person. Or if you know someone who's a very fiery energy, very focused on their career, maybe associated with your career, this could definitely be someone that you're ready to embark on a journey with, and you're ready to walk down a path in life with later on this year. So in August, the first eclipse takes place at 15 degrees of Aquarius, and that will highlight your 8th house. And this is a lunar eclipse, so this is an ending. So for some of you, I think you definitely have decided to get a divorce or let go of one relationship, or there's this new change that comes into your partnerships, maybe as the truth is found out. In some situation, we don't have the Ace of Swords here, but if you are involved with an Aquarius female, maybe this person is experiencing these type of things. But I don't feel like this ending is going to be a big surprise, and I think that it will definitely come around by August the 7th, maybe fall in the week after that. But all of this is really a culmination of the past 6 months. So the past 6 months before August the 7th, all of these things led up to this point. And this is definitely a division between two people here, Cancer. Again, I'm sorry for that. Endings are never easy, and they are like deaths, especially if you're getting a divorce. It is so much like a death. And I wish you the best there. It's a difficult thing to go through. Now there's a new beginning that takes place in August too, and this is a solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Leo in your 2nd house of finances and self-esteem and resources. These are resources that you bring to the table. This is income that you make from work. And this is also the physical body and your own self-esteem. You know, the confidence level that you have. And this is a brand new beginning. And 29 degrees means like the last part of something. 29 degrees is always the final, maybe this is the final payout of something. If you're paying on a divorce, this is the final payout of it. If you're paying for travel, this is another final payout. Or this is another time to try to acquire a new job, a new source of income, of providing for another person. But this influence will last for the next 6 months. So I think some of you maybe have ended one career here and you're getting ready to begin another. So that's definitely going to be a situation. For some of you, maybe you and your partner are moving and you're moving on to a new situation. There's definitely a different spirit here in the second part of the year over here that I'm going to get into. So we want to let all that first part of the year pass. You need to get your head straight. You need to make the decisions that you need to make in relationships. Don't make them during the Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde period. Wait till June or July. When summer gets here, you're going to be ready to make some changes, to have some endings in relationships. You're going to be ready to walk down the path of life with someone new, or you and your partner are ready to let go of all the old things and you're ready to sort of step out in this new light. So let's see if we can extract some information about the second part of the year. Now I do see here there is the 10 of Cups. This was your goal through the first part of the year, and it's definitely here. The King of Cups is here, which could be you, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And there's this home celebration here. This could be a wedding. There just a need to feel, this could be a birthday. This could be a lot of people gathering together to have a good time. And I think you were heavily involved in that. You're involved in this new sense of home and family and celebration. So this could take place August, September time frame. I'm thinking it could be as early as summer. But despite all this going on, I feel like there's some instability related to your career still. So maybe you are starting a new career, but it's going to take some adjustment. Maybe you are starting a new lifestyle, a new family life, but it's going to take some adjustment. It doesn't come without stress, and it doesn't come without times you feeling alone or you having to adjust yourself in this situation. But, it's your lucky day. You're starting out on a new path, I think, with your finances. Maybe you're finally coming to terms with the money that you have. Maybe you've been able to save money and now you're ready to put it to good use. Maybe you're finally in control of your finances once again, or you found a better paying job, but it's just a struggle to get through it, to get adapted to it. And there is a lot of stress. You're carrying a lot of burdens along the way with you. But these are burdens you can work through. And they are associated with day-to-day activity. So no big deal there. Now the Star card is here, and this talks about hopes and dreams coming true. And this is later in the year. The Devil is also here. So interestingly enough, the Devil is by the Star card. Now the Star card she's the card of Aquarius also. So I think some of you are involved with an Aquarius. Maybe you're involved with two Aquariuses here. We have the Queen of Swords and the Star card, or maybe some of you have a lot of Aquarius in your chart. But this person is all about magic. She's about balancing knowledge to make dreams come true. And she's willing to step out for her wishes, for her own wishes and fulfillment. And this is about bringing hope back into a situation. So maybe as you're starting this new venture with your finances and really gaining some control over your own life, even though you're stressed, even though at times you feel lonely, you're able to finally feel like you've come into your own, or else you're involved with this other person who could be an Aquarius, and you're ready to begin a celebratory moment with her. Some of you here are involved with multiple people. Let me just be open and honest here. If you're a male and you're watching this, there are a lot of women on this table. A lot. And so the Devil card is here. And the Devil is about temptation. Sometimes it's about twin flame relationships where you just can't seem to let go of the other person. You're not sure why. but it also talks about toxic relationships. So I hope that after you've made these decisions, Cancer, that you aren't latching on to things that involve greed, sex, excess, overspending, the temptation of affairs, because you are feeling the stress of this new scenario, this new opportunity that you have in the second part of the year. But the celebration card, the Three of Cups, is here. Now, sometimes I feel like this card is about a birthday or celebration, maybe with friends. But this can also be, if you are involved with multiple people, male or female, this can signify, especially here with the Devil, and you feeling this sort of psychic alone feeling where you're searching for inner peace and knowledge, that you're turning to the wrong things, that you're turning towards escapism rather than enlightenment. So be careful there at the end of the year, Cancer. Be careful to be appreciative of the fine things that have been laid on your table, and to keep this image in mind of what truly makes you happy. Because I know you Cancers, you like the happy home and family life, and many Cancers are really bad about having an affair when they're not happy or they're bored at home. Rather than cut the relationship off and do the healthy thing, you hang on to that relationship and then you move on here with other people. And that's just not healthy either. And with Pluto in your relationship sector, that stuff's coming to an end, Cancer. I hope it was fun, but it's coming to an end. You have to really think about your voice within a relationship to prevent these types of things from happening. You can't go through life with multiple partners. It's going to tear you up emotionally. You're never going to be able to make a decision about the future when you're hanging on to multiple people, because you're emotionally invested in things that are not productive to a monogamous partnership. And again, that's going to fall on yourself. It's going to keep you disorganized. It's going to prevent you from being successful. It's going to prevent you from having that peace when you are alone at certain times. You're not going to be able to pull that inner peace up because you've got all of these secrets in your closet, right? So you want to get rid of those secrets. We don't want to hang on to the Devil here. Either if you have a private relationship with someone, you need to make it public. Because the secrets that you carry around are what is going to eat you up. Can't do it, Cancer. Let go. And I can tell you, for the past couple of years, I have had Cancer clients who come in, and they're usually males, and it's the same story every time. Some of you have all of these compartments for relationships. So this person, is nurturing to me. This person is the mother of my child. This person's exciting. This is the person that I go to if I need emotional fulfillment. At any given time, if my partner's let me down, then I run to this person. But then I may cheat on both of them with this other exciting person. It just depends on what comes around at the right time and what I need emotionally. You guys are immature emotionally. You've got to catch up. Pluto is not in your relationship sector and opposing you for no reason. It's there to clear it out and to help you learn and grow with your partnerships. So make a list, Cancer. What is it that you need in a relationship? You already know you need strength and stability. You need someone to grow with, to enjoy your family with. What other things do you need? If you need excitement, you need to put that on your list. If you like someone who likes to travel, put that on your list. I don't know what you Cancers really want. I think I'm making a list for myself right now. But you need to really try to organize your thoughts so that you aren't, spreading yourself around to other people when it's never really enough for these people. Because all these people are going to get tired of this too, Cancer. So I realize I'm talking to one group of Cancers right now, so I'll get back on track. So at the end of the year, I think that you are feeling, more loving. There's a person who's willing to help you out. For some of this is a father figure, maybe, who likes to provide for home and family, and you're feeling a celebratory mood with this person and you're really enjoying your family. But then what comes after that is this sort of stressful burden, a sense of being alone, but trying to really make your way with a new career or to hold on to your money in some way. And maybe some of you have saved money. I would urge all of you to save money with all of those eclipses happening in your financial sector over the summer and in the beginning of the year. These are not going to get any better. It's going to begin again in 2018. So you want to hold on to all the money that you can right now. I see you've got a lot of celebrations this summer, and it's like you want to have a good time with family and with friends. Some of you are thinking about this new relationship that you may want up here. If you find yourself by the end of the year really wanting to get involved with this old romantic partner or this new person who seems like a bit of a temptation to you, or this soulmate or twin flame, I would say it would be a twin flame. There's a lack of communication here, and the Two of Swords is here, so this is a lot of arguing. So I'll do some clarification cards at the end to really try to pull out the rest of the features of the message that Spirit is giving to us. So in the last part of the year, on December 3rd to the 22nd, Mercury is going to retrograde again in Sagittarius. And this is your 6th house of health and work. So maybe towards the end of the year, you may have a bit of health difficulties. Some of you may be dealing with mental health issues like depression, alcoholism, certain forms of addiction, definitely. I have the smoke here with the hermits. Maybe some of you are smoking a little too much. So these are going to be issues that come up in the last part of the year, and it may be up for review with your relationships. Like maybe your partner knows about this and they're going to say, nope, you have to really be able to start on the recovery process. You have to get yourself back on track and stop turning to all these forms of escapism. And the stuff's got to go out the door, Cancer. And some of you are really going to begin a new relationship towards the end of the year that's going to challenge you in some way for over the next 3 years to really watch yourself within a relationship, to really make a big effort to do the right thing in your relationships, to really express yourself. It's going to be a challenging energy, Cancer, but I think it's going to work well for you in the end. And by the end, I mean around 2020, 2021, you're going to graduate into a whole new relationship phase. But I want to back up a minute and talk about Saturn having been in your 6th house of health all year. This is all through the year, your health is going to be promoted. You're going to need to go to the dentist. You're going to need to have all of your minor symptoms checked. Some of you are working hard at work. You're being challenged at work. You have all of this new responsibility maybe at work. Some of you are going to be required to take care of other people. Deal with the health of your pet. Deal with being away from your pets. Worrying about your pet. Some of you are going to unfortunately experience the loss of a pet this year or last year even. Saturn is a long-term influence, and like I said, it won't be moving into your relationship sector until December. Once Saturn moves into your relationship sector in December, there is a very big influence that is coming in 2020. So I've been telling all the signs towards the end of their reading that they need to be aware of this energy. And it is called Saturn conjunct Pluto. And this energy has not been around since around World War I, World War II, the Great Depression era. So it's going to be a worldwide energy where governments are going to fall, structures are going to be torn down. In your case, these are going to be relationships that maybe tear you down and build you up. Some of you are going to experience loss within relationships. This is a heavy, heavy energy. It's an energy that helps redefine what you imagine a partner to be. It's going to redefine all of your relationships, and it's going to challenge every single one of them. So if you're starting a new relationship in the second half of this year, it's going to be very challenging. Some of you are leaving old relationships behind and starting this new phase. And it's not going to be, all roses, I don't think. I think there's a lot of happiness to be had in it, but it's going to be very challenging at times. And some of you may become responsible for your partner. You may become responsible for your partner's health. For some of you, this will be your parents, where some of you may really need to move in and be the hero for your parents and help take care of them in their old age. I'm going to try to discern some more of this energy that starts out from August forward. And again, this is just confirming that some of you are making a choice. Some of you are just bored in your relationships. Some of you are just, worrying about things that really don't even matter in love. And some of you are still unwilling or unable to make a choice. And it's like you keep putting yourself through these emotional trials. Nine of Pentacles is here, and this is where you're feeling, you're more worried about material things and security than you are making a choice. I think these material things are preventing you from making a choice. For some of you, a career field is ending. It's maybe I think some of you are just in denial of what is really going on in your life. Some of you feel like, this is a great phase and money's going to last forever. You're going to have all this time to make whatever option you want, whatever choice that you want. And it's just not true. It's like you feel entitled in some way. You want to brag about your situation. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got all these good times. And this is showing it's not the best choice. This is not the best outcome. It's a false outcome. And it's one that's not very stable. And there's the towers right on top of that. I just laid the tower down. You can't probably see over here. But I laid the tower down there with the Nine of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is reversed with it. So you have to really watch for sudden events that happen that really shake things up. So if you think that you have enough money, put it away because you really don't. There are things that are going to pop up that are going to trigger loss in money. And you really need to be prepared. And I think this is what is going to, make you feel alone sometimes and keep you a little stressed out, is because maybe you weren't expecting these type of things. If you're going through a divorce in the summer, I think that you aren't going to expect a loss of money. You really got to focus on this first part of the year, because when this second part rolls around, all of the decisions that you've made and the review that you've done in relationships are really going to spill over. If you can't trust a person, if you find out during this time between January and say July, if you find out between January and July that you can't trust a person, and you found out this person has had an affair, or they're looking back on an old relationship, or you're worried about them reconnecting with a partner, you got to make these decisions in the summer. And what you need to go towards is this idea of bliss, but you've got to be realistic. You got to think about, who are the people that really love me? Who are the people that support me? Am I happy with these people? Who do I feel the biggest connection with? Because these are the people that are going to help you stay happy and stable, not only financially, but emotionally. They're going to be willing to support you no matter what you do. And you're going to feel comfortable with them. So don't build up these false towers here, these big ideas and this sense of entitlement over here on false ground. You really have to search within yourself, because you've got to be prepared to face some challenges with a partner down the road. And you have to really find out who is going to be there to support you when these challenges do come up. Are they going to... how are these people going to find a way to help you balance all of the emotions that you're feeling, communication issues that you're having with your partner, issues involving trust? Some of you who are starting over with a new partnership on the second half of the year, and maybe you're getting married and this is a family celebration, or you're willing to move along with this new person, I think that there are going to be some trust issues that you're going to have to work out within the relationship. And this is only going to come from communication. So during the first part of the year, you really want to brush up on your communication skills, because that second part of the year, especially by December when Saturn goes into your relationship sector, you're going to want to feel grounded in the relationship that you already have with a partner, whether they're an old partner or a new partner. And you're going to want to feel a sense of friendship with this other person. So again, the card of Aquarius is here. We have 3 women who are celebrating under the moon. Their cups are full with love. There's nature all around them. And there are going to be, regardless of whether you try to prevent it or not, with Saturn in that 7th house of your relationships, there are just going to be challenges. And hosting Saturn in the 7th house of your relationship is challenging enough. The problem is that we have Pluto, which has already been, let's make Pluto this one. Pluto has already been tearing your relationships up and making you rethink about how you trust a partner. This has been happening for many years now, since 2008. This is about how you get along with parents and partners and dealing with heavy influences involving them. And then now we have Saturn. So Pluto's still there and still shaking up your partnerships. It's still transforming you. Some of you are even obsessed with your relationships. It's like you can't seem to get away from them. You are worried about leaving them. You think the world is going to fall apart if you leave them, if anything changes in your relationship dynamic at all. So you build this, net of safety where you are just wrapping yourself up in and you're suffocating yourself. And that's what Pluto does, because it's wanting you to basically fall down in a relationship, to do all the wrong things so that you can figure out what the right things are. It's a profound change, and not every person experiences in a lifetime. In fact, it's rare. Now, not only do you have this rare factor, this rare magnetic force in your relationships, and this can be more than one relationship. Again, some of you Cancers are involved with more than one person because you've got this one person you can't let go of to go towards any amount of happiness. And you're not willing to listen to anybody about this person. You can't see it because you're too obsessed. And then now we have Saturn coming in. And Saturn is a heavy influence. Both of these planets, Pluto and Saturn, are the heaviest influences that we experience in a lifetime. And now we have Saturn, who's going to come in at the end of the year and creep up until 2020. Is going to creep closer. So Saturn is the timekeeper. It's karma. He's also death and endings and restriction. And then we already have the planet, the heavy planet. Even though Pluto's the smallest planet, it marks a point in the sky that reflects our conscious state of the heaviest, darkest energy that we have in relationships. So we have at 2020, these are going to meet. Now, it doesn't wait until 2020 to hit. It starts as soon as Saturn enters Capricorn in December of this year. And the closer it gets to Pluto, when it gets out about 3 degrees, that's when the major influence falls. That's when the hardest times come. And you're going to hear this all over the world. People are going to have hard times all over the world. It just so happens for you, Cancer, this is in your relationships. And for some of you, what Saturn's going to do, it sees your obsession with this unhealthy relationship or these activities within your relationship where you've closed yourself in and you've been obsessed maybe about one long-term relationship or the inability to be monogamous in a relationship. Whatever is weighing you down, you know what it is, Cancer. You know the secrets. You know what you're holding on to that is probably unhealthy and that you're willing to gloss over in a relationship. And Saturn comes in there. And once it gets close to there, it says, you know what? It's like a dagger. It says, that's enough. And it completely, as powerful as Pluto is, it's like a collision of energy that just explodes. And it's going to explode by 2020, Cancer. So for some of you, I don't like to gloss over things. For some of you, this is going to maybe be the loss of a partner. For some of you, this could be the death of a partner or parent. In any regard, if you're in the later degrees, I would say from about 18 to 24 degrees, all of you are going to feel this, especially from, if you're 20 to 23 degrees of Cancer. It's going to be a major, major influence, a major impact on you. So you need to look at the planets of your natal chart. You can go to my chastrology.com page and look at the readings that I have there. I offer relationship readings. If you're just wanting to ask me specifically to look at your natal chart and to get an idea maybe with the cards of what scenarios are going to take place so that you can protect yourself, then do so. I'm not trying to scare you here. I have a Capricorn ascendant, so I'm very much about long-term planning and trying to keep energies off of our bodies, because all of the things that we experience in life are part of our consciousness, and we can actually redirect that energy. So the best thing that you could do for this situation is to maybe work with a partner. If you and your partner could work together, maybe if you started your own business, maybe if you found yourself sharing a lot of chores and humanitarian effort, if you get together and you work on a project, if you're taking care of a partner who is sick and the partner's also taking care of you in some way, make sure your partner is busy with the work of the hands and you are busy surround them, trying to protect them and to provide from them. For some of you, this is going to maybe be a balance between your partners and your parents. Maybe you've got stresses with your partner, but your parent also needs you. For some of you, this could be grandparents. In any regard, it is going to be a deeply profound emotional experience for you, Cancer. So I just want to let you know that ahead of time. I don't want anything to hit you. Saturn doesn't really hit us out of nowhere, but this energy is very different in the fact this only comes around every great once in a while, and no one else will experience this in their lifetime here. So the way that Pluto has moved through Capricorn and forming the Grand Cross, and now with Saturn coming up to offer closure. So if you can think back to 2008 to 2015, all the events, all of the emotional struggles that you had with parents and partners then, and all of the things that just kept getting thrown into your face. A lot of these things had to do with sexual dysfunction, the lack of sex, people who were obsessive compulsive, people who were controlling, partners and parents who were controlling, partners and parents who you felt were destructive to you in some way, or things that your partner has shown you that are destructive that you have chosen to turn a blind eye to. All of those things are going to come out again. If you are the person if you are the perpetrator in this situation and you have done very destructive things to other people, this is coming back on you now, because you're going to be caught. If you're still doing these things, you're going to be caught, and Saturn is going to cut you off. Saturn is one of the co-rulers of Aquarius, and it is going to get to the truth of the matter, and it is going to stop you in your tracks. You cannot continue on this way. So suppose you're in a happy, healthy relationship and these influences still come in. Know that they are going to still be challenging. So you could have the best relationship in the world, and this pressure is so heavy. You're going to have to find a way to work with a partner. You're going to have to help them get through some difficult times to make things work out. Now, I have some clarifiers here that I'm going to use and go back over the energy of the year. So if you remember in the first part of the year, you're working through your relationships. You're trying to nail down these new career options. You're trying to balance your emotional stability. You're trying to still think about what you need in a relationship. You're trying to balance your finances. So I'm going to ask for the first part of the year, what are the main themes? And I have the card of love and compassion. Okay, so definitely relationships and purification. So this is a need to get rid of negative influences in your life within your relationships, whatever this means. If it's the partner and you're caught up in a toxic relationship, there's a need to, get rid of addictions, to move on, to let the emotions come out. Sometimes tears can be the most cleansing factor of releasing emotions and, getting our own consciousness ready for new beginnings. You have to let go. And this is very emotional. And I think some of you are, I think a lot of you are ready to move down a new path with a partner, but there are issues of trust and intimacy that have to be sorted out. And this is the vigilance card here. So this is saying, don't let yourself get, stuck in a rut here. You have to keep on going. And then the sun is reversed. So this is about not starting something new. This is about going back. And again, thinking about yourself within your relationship. And if it's really healthy, is your partner offering you new experiences or new support in what your life purpose is? and what makes you happy and what makes you passionate, because the sun is about passion, right? And with it reversed here, there's just this need to let go of something. Some of you are involved, are turning all of your sorrows into this drinking fest over here. And that's still not satisfying you. You can't get the satisfaction. Some of you are involved in sexual activities with other people and you're trying to turn in that direction. That's not going to work either. I don't want to keep harping on this because I've wrote about this in my horoscopes for month for Cancer, and I feel like you guys are going to think I'm picking on you. I'm not. I have a Cancer moon. I understand there's a lot of people in my family are Cancers. I totally understand that there is a need to redefine how you react to people in your life, and to try to redefine your boundaries with people, and to discern who keeps you feeling emotionally secure and who purposely tries to make you feel like you can't trust them or that they're not stable enough for you. And if you're the person doing that, there's a need for you to straighten up and to really become a better partner yourself. Middle of the year. And so this is right on top of the Death card with the Lovers, and it's like you're expecting this new beginning. Some of you are thinking that you're still going to plow through this relationship and you're still going to have this new happy-go-lucky beginning. And I think a part of the summer will be happy, but there are difficulties in getting this new beginning off the ground. And for some of you, you're just not willing to let go. For others of you, you're going to be relocating, and there are surprising factors that come up here with the Tower that are going to bring more unstable energy. And as you begin to walk down this new path with a new person or with your significant other, expect these surprises. Hold on to your money. And again, a state of reflection in the summer. So in August, when those eclipses come around, Cancer, you're just, some of you are just not ready. Some of you are having divorces happen to you when you're not wanting them, I think. You're still wanting to hang on to this dream that you have about how your relationship's going to turn out, and you're going to go off to this new world, or you're maybe getting a new career and everything's going to be so happy with family and it's going to all work out. And I think for some of you, this is really going to bring this temptation around again with your hopes and dreams. And for some of you, you may engage in more affairs. I hope not, Cancer. I want to turn this around to the positive. So I have some love cards here, since this is, I didn't plan on using these, but since this is turning into more of a love reading, which a lot of the forecasts for 2017 have turned into love readings. So that seems to be the theme this year. But of course, I always use the sign of Aquarius to depict the general public. And for Aquarius, they are having eclipses in their relationship sectors this year. So a lot of starts and stops in relationships for all Aquarians. So that seems to be the theme here for you, Cancer. And with the eclipses falling along intimate lines of divorce and debt and trust and sexual influences, I'm guessing that's what's going on for you here too. So first part of the year, it's saying to slow down, and it's just going along with the same energy. Slow down, rethink your relationships, think about what makes you happy. Middle of the year, turn your heart light on in the middle of the year. And so the last part of the year, I think this card kind of redefines that for me. And it's saying, act as if your partner is here. Some of you are ending a relationship and you don't have another one yet. And there may be one person that you're wanting to turn to. This could be this Aquarius person up here. And maybe this is more of a sexual influence with this person, and you're wanting to meet up with them again. But this card says, act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So this is about really keeping someone in your heart and allowing divine timing to take place. But already keeping that person in mind and maybe wanting to devote this journey that you're willing to go on with a new person, with this other person in mind who is an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini maybe. And then towards the end of the year, I want to get another clarifier. So this is another celebration. Maybe some of you have marriages taking place within your families. Maybe some of you are celebrating births within your family. I think that there is a new beginning available here for some of you, but you just have to be willing to let go of the past and move on. And the card of good fortune is here. And it's saying to let magic in. And the dolphin card is here, which talks about communication. If you remember, there was a lack of communication with this Aquarius person here. And this is saying that the communication with this person will allow all of these good things to come in. There's good times with family, celebrations toward the end of the year. It's saying that distance doesn't matter. Go the distance to be with this person. Stop the lack of communication with this person. And I think that if you do, I think that you have to put behind the old ways of manipulation. That's the biggest thing that I have here. Stop manipulating other people. Stop allowing people to manipulate you emotionally. And try to really get closure in old relationships that are no longer working. If you have money, save it. Some of you are relocating. Some of you are starting new relationships. Some of you are experiencing disappointment within your relationship. And all of you are going to have struggles in your relationships for the next 2 years. You want to get to a point where you're stable, though. You want to use the rest of this year to get to a point where you are stable with a person. Because if you aren't, it may take you a couple more years to actually find that person with the planets lining up in Capricorn. So the last cards that I will pull are the final outcome. And that's just because Cancer has taken me so long to do. And I'm so curious to get some sort of advice for you other than what I've already given you. So the Ace of Wands is here. This is all underlying energy I'm pulling out. The King of Swords, the Fool, and the Page of Pentacles. And so I think this underlines the year very well, Cancer. This is all about you starting out with a new career field, trying to get to the truth of the matter, trying to use your mental agility to move forward, maybe down a new path that will lead you towards a better financial future. And for those of you dealing with relationship problems, this is about you giving to someone else. If you've been taking within a relationship and you've been taking someone for granted, this is time for you to connect with this person on a very deep level. You need to figure out what is important to that other person, to your partner. I know some of you have partnerships that are ending, so maybe this is future advice for you. Says it is imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to one another. And this is talking about the gift of giving, of kindness, of gentleness, of saying, I'm here. Tell me about you. Tell me about what your needs are. And it's about thanking that person for actually taking time to be with you. And I think that there are financial matters that you're going to have to talk about with this other person. And for some of you, this is about you realizing that there are challenges in your relationships, but saying, you know what, we have enough. We have enough to make it through this. And we're going to come up with new ideas. If you're in a new relationship, how can we let go of the past and come up with new ideas to really create something new on our own? And I think that message resounds for every one of you Cancers, coming up with new ideas to do something new in your relationship and accepting that there are challenges ahead, but being willing to get through those challenges to create something that can be very beautiful. Once that Saturn-Pluto leaves in 2020, that's where you're going to really begin to see the rewards. And all of the planets will sort of try to, they'll begin to dissipate at that time and not be in so much conflict with each other. And so you'll really begin to see your relationships grow. So you Cancers are good at hanging on. I don't want you to hang on to unhealthy relationships, and certainly you want to think about where your heart is, and think about getting through the challenges of the summer, because there are definitely some there. If you've lost communication with someone, try to pick that communication back up. Try to spend time together. Try to rediscover who your partner or this other significant relationship is, and again, create, because we can never go back to the past. It has to be something new. And I think I posted on my CH Astrology Facebook page the other day, there was a picture of a girl that said, "A relit cigarette never tastes the same," and that's true. You can never go back to the way things were. You have to learn to begin again. Even in our relationships, either we let go, or we realize we're two different people, and we consider if those two people can work together, if there's still a passion and a fire there to create something new. If there isn't, we let go and we find someone who is more compatible to our life purpose, because that's what we're all here for. We're all here for a reason. And we learn about ourselves through other people, and we become better people from the people that we include in our lives. So if the person that you have in your life now is no longer working for you, or you find that out towards the end of the year, know the universe is doing the right thing for you. And often that process is painful, but we'll get there. And I'm willing to believe that 2020 is a marking point where you have really, really, really made progress in your relationships, and you're so happy in this blissful family life that you've imagined here. That's going to come true, but it may come true in ways that you did not expect, Cancer. A lot of surprises ahead. So I wish you the very best in 2017, Cancer. We made it. I made it through your reading, finally. I hope all of this has been of help to you. I hope all these starts and stops I've had for you, Cancer, have really brought the message out that needed to be. I may do a follow-up for all the signs toward the middle of the year, but until then, take care, Cancer. I'll see you next time.